let's get to another thing here. Let's preview the upcoming AEW Dynasty.
Oh, boy, howdy. That is another thing, isn't it?
Which is taking place this weekend as we are recording, April 6, 2025, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Well, how many matches? 13, 14? What's on tap for this big event?
Right now, there are 6 matches listed on Wikipedia, but if I go to AEW's page, they only have 5. So, and there's another TV to come, so who knows what'll happen.
How is their own website behind Wikipedia?
Well, Wikipedia may not be official. It could be people guessing. Let's see what we can figure out here. For the AEW TNT Championship, with no time limit and no outside interference, Daniel Garcia, the champion, versus Adam Cole.
Oh boy, so it can go all night and nobody can interfere. That means we got to look at just these two and for a long time.
Do you predict a title change, or what do you think will happen?
Oh, good Lord. They seem to be in love with Garcia, even though we haven't been subjected to him as much lately as we were there for a while. Poor Adam Cole. I don't know what else to say. I feel so bad for him. He's a nice young man. Could they have this before they open the doors and just say, we couldn't hold him, folks. Here's a package for 2 minutes.
Well, Jim, another match announced. This is on Wikipedia, but not on their page. Title versus mask for the Ring of Honor World Championship. The champion, Chris Jericho, versus the mask, Bandito.
Oh, boy.
Thank you, Mask Man.
Yes. Maybe Bandito will steal away into the night, and we won't have to worry about that. I mean, Jericho's going to try to do some lucha, and Bandito's going to try to do some American, and people ain't going to really give too much of a shit except for the most diehard of the fans. And it's for the Ring of Honor title, which is not exactly as prestigious as it once was. And imagine how much territory that takes in. So there you go.
Well, Jim, the next match listed here for the AEW World Trios Championship, the Death Riders, Claudio Castagnoli, Pac, and Wheeler Yuta versus Rated FTR, Cope, Cash, and Dax.
Cope, Cash, and Dax. My God, it sounds like some kind of formula for taking drugs. Cope, Cash, and Dax. What more is to be done with this? Is Dax going to be pissy at Edge? Are they turning FTR heel? We said that probably wouldn't be the worst thing that ever happened, but the Death Riders are death to people's attention. So it is what it is. Hopefully there'll be some type of turn on the babyface team, but then who's going to be on Edge's side? If FTR turned on him, and if they turn on each other, I would suggest both Dax and Cash maybe apply for Social Security while it's still in existence, because that'd be the end of both of them right now.
Did you see that footage going around of them on Collision? It was FTR versus Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong.
Oh, God, yeah. And one would think both those teams would have been amongst the most technically proficient performers in the company, and they couldn't get out of their own way. I fucking died laughing. It's like a 1.5-minute clip, and they couldn't get together for some reason, and it just kept botching, and they couldn't stop themselves. But I think once they got off, they just got rattled. Cash had tried to leapfrog at one point, and Roddy didn't go down far enough, and Cash was jumping sideways because he didn't think he was going to get over him, and they kind of crumbled. And then they were trying to do a old Heart Foundation bear hug clothesline, but every time Dax would run to one side of the ropes, Cash would turn to the other side. They were just crisscrossing around and couldn't figure it out. It was bad. Then they kind of got back on the same page, but it was brutal. Yes, for a while. I felt bad for him.
Well, we'll see what happens next. For the AEW World's Women's Championship, or World Women's Championship, Women's World Championship, Timeless Tony Storm, the champion, with Luther versus Megan Bayne.
Well, I'm thinking that they like Megan Brain because she's the new flavor of the moment and she's a striking looking physical specimen. We still haven't figured out, because now, as somebody told me, somebody sent an email. Remember, I mentioned that to you, saying that, well, she just like broke in a year or two ago and they saw her and signed her before the WWE had seen her. Then somebody else has said, no, she's been wrestling since maybe 2017 or whatever. So I don't know what the story is. If it's
someone sent me something that said she was out of OVW.
Well, yes. And I saw that also, but now that would be more recent OVW. And obviously you don't know what you're getting these days, but I again, if she's been around 7 or 8 years and she's not in the WWE, something's wrong with her. maybe it's mental. I don't know. But if she's only been around a couple of years and they just signed her up early somehow, then there will be hope for her, but it ain't going to fucking happen here in anyway, because they take women who are really over in the world of wrestling and put them under. So much less one from scratch. Toni Storm has been the exception, and she's apparently decided that the audience for the funny, haha, ironic wrestling is what AEW's got, and it's worked for her. So apparently she's right. I can't see him switching the belt.
Why do the match? I mean, I guess they don't mind beating Megan Bayne, but I wouldn't beat her yet. But we'll see what happens.
Well, would you spank her?
Jim, in a 3-way match for the AEW International Championship, the champion, Kenny Omega, versus Ricochet, versus Speedball Mike Bailey.
Is the Hong Kong Phooey TV show theme under public domain yet that we could play that for him? I mean, this is going to be their self-indulgent, uneven parallel bars routine where the 3 flippy fellas get to do all the flips and say what you want. And I have about Kenny, at least in this environment, he's looked at as a main event guy. And Ricochet, they thought would be, and he became an annoying nerd. And so they kind of made him a, dick heel. But he's still somewhat athletic. And he and Kenny could certainly play the parts of Olga Corbett and Nadia Comaneci without having some fucking tiny little grinning goof job guy muddy this up just because he can do a bunch of fucking gymnastics routines. He looks like he would have been a hell of a cheerleader in high school. He might even have made the men's team. But how is this fucking underneath goof in the middle of a top guy and a guy they're trying to make a top guy? Just because he can cartwheel? Help me out with this.
I don't have an answer for you. I am not Tony Khan. Do you think he's going to cartwheel his way into a championship?
No.
So you think they're going to beat him already? Or I guess the 3-way, you get around that, you can just beat Ricochet. Or Ricochet beat Kenny.
Well, I don't think anybody of these two is going to beat Kenny, but if it was one of them, it'd be Ricochet. Or elsewise, Spitball might fucking pull out a goddamn ball peen hammer and wrap somebody over the head, but no, they've done that here. That doesn't work either.
All right, you with the hammers. I apologize for any noise behind me. There are gardeners somewhere in the vicinity.
Oh, good God. I'm worried about being blown off the face of the map and then washed away into a sea of goddamn floodwaters, and you got gardeners out there. Are we interrupting? Do you have a cookout scheduled later on?
They are not my gardeners. They are someone's, as I said, in the vicinity somewhere. But Jim, the main event, AEW Dynasty in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. For the AEW World Championship, Jon Moxley, the champion, versus Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana.
I mean, don't you think that it would be just out of nowhere and what the fuck if Swerve is the one who just brings this all to an end and then they just go away or whatever?
The catch-22. Do you just want it to go away so you do it and Swerve wouldn't be outrageous with their fan base, or is it something where you've invested this much time and things aren't completely dead? Let's hold off until Texas Stadium.
Yeah, there's still a pulse. And if we hit it with the defibrillator every once in a while, we can get a heartbeat. Let's hold off till the stadium show to put an end to this fucking lunatic and the way he's tanked the company. Swerve ain't going to win this because, like I said, it's not time. They haven't built, it's past time for Moxley to lose, but they haven't built this up where this would be the culmination of anything. And they're supposed to be in a stadium in a couple of months. So I don't know. They'll probably just puncture him with something. Swerve, it's his turn to get skewered. Remember, he got the syringe and then Moxley got the nails. So this time it'll be a red hot poker. They'll just impale him on somewhere, like on shoulder skin or something. It won't hurt too bad.
How many minutes into the match or how close to the finish do you think Wheeler Yuta will do his run-in?
And give somebody Danielson's knee, I'd say 6 minutes before the finish takes place. Right before they call for an extra blood transfusion.
Well, again, those are the matches announced so far for AEW Dynasty on the 6th. This weekend, as we are recording, nothing with Christian Cage and Nick Wayne, so maybe there'll be something there to settle their father-son, or whatever the hell it is, feud. And, yeah, that's the show.
Well, yeah, 6 matches announced. Last time they had 13. I can't wait to see what they're hiding from us. They spring on us at the last moment.